Good motherfucking Sunday, everybody. You know, I am about Sundays. You know, they suck. Yeah. That's very annoying when you're going up the road. It's constantly, jiggling, making that noise. Don't know what really to do with it. Whatever. The fuck ever, bitches. It's from the big... I should rename this truck, because I saw another truck that, somebody was calling it the same name. I should rename this truck. I think I'm going to rename it to the fucking Patriot truck. Something like that. Whatever. Whatever. If any of you think you know what you think you would call it, you can let me know in the comments section if you give a flying fuck. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't care. So, let's see here. What else? What else can we do? Tilt. Here we go. This will be for the Chevelle now. Maybe I should just... I can't see where it's aiming at. It's a problem. Here we go. I figure this will be good enough. There we go. Take me a little bit to focus here. I think that's good. I think. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Put on your fucking hats. We reached this point where we're turning our fucking heat back on. Yay! Christ. Oh, baby. Yeah. Oh. Not bad. Not bad at all. I actually turned the idle down. Wow, that's burning my eyes. I turned the idle down. Because when the car warms up and it gets to operating temperature, it will actually rev up really high. So the idle will change to like it'll idle at like 1,000 or over 1,000, like 1,000 and some change. So I don't like that because then when you shut it down, it detonates. And it'll do that, when you shut it off, it'll go, because it's pre-detonation in the cylinders. When you shut it down, it's hot, because that high idle detonates. Some people call it dieseling. I call it detonation. Because that's what it is. You're detonating fuel that's left in there because of the heat. And gasoline with ethanol in it burns really fast. So anyway, that's what I have for you on a Sunday. And it was idling at about 500 right there without my foot on the gas. I would just lay my foot on the throttle and it would rev up a little bit to like 700 or 800. But usually in park, I like it to idle at about 800 and then drive about 650, something like that. That's where I think it sounds the best. Plus with this timing, it's advanced a little bit. Not a shitload, because when it's hot, I want to be able to fire it back up. And at times it does start hard, but I think that's just because of, the carburetor and the air fuel and, how that's set up. I think that's just why it does that. But it doesn't, there's a period of time when it does it at that point. If you shut it off, wait for a second, fire it back up, it just fires right back up. No problem. But if you let it sit for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, about 10 minutes more than likely, about 10 minutes, and you go to start it, the starter will just run and run and run, and you'll have to put your foot on the accelerator and just give it a little push, and then boom, it'll fire again. And usually it'll be kind of loaded just a little bit. A little bit of smoke will roll out the tailpipes because it's just rich. It's just loaded up a little bit. Which, you'll have that trial and error over and over. It's fine. But figured I'd do that, because that's all I can do today, as you can see outside. It's a shitty, rainy ass fucking day. Yay. So, yeah, it's horrible. And you can see from the tree in the field, it's starting to change. That means hell's about to freeze over. So, yeah, leaves are going to start changing. We're getting all this rain from a hurricane. That's always great. Come up the coast from the Carolinas, come in. Now, if you watch the news, you've seen it. We usually get the rains from it up here in the mountains. It's supposed to rain, Jesus Christ, clear through fucking Wednesday. Tomorrow, it's not supposed to be too bad. It's supposed to be cloudy and kind of overcast, and, but I'll be at work, so it doesn't really matter. I just take it as a get it at work. Because, you know, you're going to be bouncing around of a piece in a piece of equipment all day long, so it doesn't really matter. So, but anyhow, I really don't have a whole lot. I did get these things out Friday. I ran both vehicles Friday, ran them around. I actually took the truck to work on Thursday morning. I usually carpool. The guy I carpool with, he had an appointment, so he had to drive himself to work, and I decided to take the fucking Patriot machine down to work. I took it in there, and I drove it home. And it sucks the fucking gas. I had to stop and get gas on my way home with it. About $20 fills that fuel cell up. About $20. And if prices were down to $1 and something, it would only be half that. It'd be like $10 to $12 probably filled up. But, you know, God fucking forbid, you know, the price of gas would come down or anything. Now it's going to be on the steady up kick because the holidays are going to be coming up. Especially right after Halloween. After Halloween, it's going to be out of control. Because, you know, the administration that's in office right now, they suck loads and loads of dick. And they're all money-grubbing bureaucrat pieces of dog shit. Because, you know what? Regardless of what party you stand with, if you're Democrat or Republican, this president we have right now, there's no fucking way he's running anything. He is an incoherent person. He is very old. He's up in his years. He's not doing well. Physically, mentally, he is, and emotionally, he's not doing well. He's very triggered. And it doesn't matter, you know, what you do with him. And he's a dickhead. He's a fucking dickhead. That guy is a fucking asshole. I mean, they ask him one question and he's just, you know, if he don't like the question, he gets all pissed and runs off the handle, gets angrier than fucking hell and just raises hell people. It's like, you fucking retard. What's wrong with you? It's because he's old. He's old as fuck. He doesn't need to be in there. They're not going to run him next time. I guarantee it, they can't. But their alternative is suck ass too. That retard that's running California into the ground, the governor of California, Newsom, we'll just call him Nudie, because he's an idiot. You see all the homeless and drugs in California and in San Francisco. You see all these people wandering around like zombies. They're all laying on the sidewalks in the streets, shitting and pissing themselves because they're all on fentanyl. Now is the big thing. It was heroin, now it's fentanyl. Because it's cheaper than heroin. And I guess it'll fuck you up for longer. And I don't think they have to inject that. I'm not sure how they use that. I think it's pill form, I think. It could be injected. I don't know. I would say whatever the quickest way is, they'll probably soak a tampon in it and run it up their assholes, probably. Because, you know, you can get really drunk that way if you dip a tampon in liquor, alcohol like grain, or any kind of alcohol. Shove it up your ass. You'll be drunk as fuck in no time. Of course, I've never did this because I don't shove stuff up my ass. Things come out of my ass like shit. I don't stuff things in my ass. But it's just, I'm subscribed to a fact channel where they tell you random fucking facts. And that was one of them. If you soak a tampon in alcohol and then shove it up your anus, up your colon hole, you will get drunk much faster. Which, I mean, are you that desperate to be out of your fucking mind? Really? Are you that desperate to want to shove something in your ass? I remember seeing a video one time. This group of girls heard that or read it on the internet or some fucking place, and they all dipped tampons in alcohol, then shoved them up their ass, and they went to school. They were young teenage girls. They went to school, and they were all fucking drunker than hell. And nobody could figure it out because they didn't have it on their breath. And when they got to school, they pulled them tampons out and threw them in the disposal. Because, in girls' bathrooms, they have tampon disposers in there. The reason I know is because I was a janitor at one time at a place. At a fucking... yeah. We'll just leave it at that. At a state park, I ran around, put shit paper on the little spools, and changed the tampon machines, and loaded them up, and, me and a cousin of mine, we ran around, did that at state parks around here. We were seniors in high school. We did this, and it was kind of gross. Anyway, their other alternative for running for Democratic side, because he's clearly tired. You can see it in him. He's clearly tired, and he's out of his fucking mind. And Camel-Toe Harris, nobody likes her. They will lose running her, and they'll lose running Nudie. They'll lose running his ass too. But right now is to the point where they're going to put Joe in the basement again. What they want to do is they want to do a lockdown for COVID so they can do the mail-in ballot things and get back in office. Because if they do a mail-in ballot, even after everybody goes out and votes, then all of a sudden these mail-in ballots will appear out of nowhere, and they'll all have his name on them. So it's a tactic, and we all know what happened last time. The FBI, or not the FBI, the House Republicans have blew the lid off this. They did their research, and they found out lots of information on the last election, and it was a stolen election. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's true, because God forbid you would use your freedom of speech right from the Constitution to speak on matters like that. You can't do that because, you're going to make somebody angry. Especially social media spots, they don't like hearing the truth. They like to hear, false shit, what they used to call alternative facts, which aren't really facts. It's just horse shit. And they put sugar-coated stuff on top of turds and feed them to you. Isn't that so much better? Don't worry about the corn. Just, if you don't want to eat it, spit it out. Crazy. It's a crazy society we live in today. It's very insane, and it's very awful, and it's going to be the collapse of every fucking thing if we're not careful. So anyhow, everybody, I hope you liked those 2 cold starts. I know they weren't very long because I had all the doors closed, and I don't want to suck all these fumes, which I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, I love the smell of gasoline. It's awesome. So that's another reason I'll never get an electric car, because, their designs are piss poor and shitty. They look like fuck. There's no sound but tires on the ground. I mean, there's not even a whine from the electric motor. If they would put straight cut gears in an electric motor, make it whine, it might make it a little better. But you're still not going to have the roar of a fucking V8. And you're not going to have the smells. These cars, face it, they just have that smell. They have the smell, look, and the design is it's just awesome. These designs of vehicles are just fucking, they're the shit. I mean, you'll never see stuff like this ever again. Because auto manufacturers are stupid. And you know, if you can make a good design and bring it back like to the old school retro thing, you can sell lots of cars. Just look at the Camaro and the Mustang. How many they sold in the Challenger. All the cars they sold. Because of that fact. They looked like the older versions of them. They're very similar. And now of course they're getting out of that now. They're just going to quit making them altogether now because they're stupid. Because they're very, very money-minded and they want money. And the trouble is now, the auto manufacturers, the heads of GM, Ford, and Chrysler are more concerned about the money thing, and they are out of touch with reality. They're very out of touch with reality because they're making vehicles that nobody wants. They're making ugly, ugly automobiles. They're all made out of plastic trash and cheap tin. They're made to fail from the factory. They only last for so long, and then, you know, you got to trade it in and get more. And now they're making, all the big three are making everything to look just like everything else. The trucks are all looking the same. Cars are all looking the same. Some of them you can't tell the difference, especially the small SUVs. They all are identical to each other. You got to usually look for the bow tie or the blue oval or the Ram sign or the Chrysler sign. Because they all look the same. They all look identical. What it is they want to transition into turning us all into mindless idiots that sit around at home and not work. And they want to put us in 15-minute cities. They want to take our cars away altogether so we can't travel. Because that's the transition now. They want you to sit and do what you're told. But I'm going to tell you this, and you probably heard it already. Remember, people, I'm going to leave you with this. Our government works for us. I told you this in another video. If you've seen it, whatever. If you didn't, I don't care. Our government works for us. We are the boss. You and I, we're the boss. We voted to put these people in there. We can vote to take them out. After their term is up, when it comes time to vote, we can get these people out. Just got to go vote. You got to vote for the other guy. These people, our government cannot tell us what to do. They can only make suggestions. It's just like Ronald Reagan always used to say, which most of you weren't alive back then, but most of my audience that tunes into my videos were alive back then. That's what he would always say. He would say, let's just say our government is the car. And we, the people, are the driver. We tell that car where to go. We're in control. We tell the car where to go. It doesn't tell us where to go. We're the boss. If we want to slam that car into the guardrails, we're going to do it. If you don't want to, you won't. But the point of that is don't let your government tell you what you're going to do. Don't let them say, hey, you have to do this. You have to buy an electric car. You have to live in a new 15-minute city. You have to buy lab-grown meat. You have to be a vegetarian only. No, I don't. And I will not. I will not comply. You have to wear a mask because COVID's back. All of a sudden, it just disappeared. It's back now. Let me protect you. No, fuck you. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to shelter in place. I'm not going to get vaccinated because it's my choice. I don't want it. I'm not going to do it. I already got that shit last time. I already was the little monkey jumping through the hoops for him last time. We're not going to do it again. And I urge everybody to not do it. But you think for yourself. You do what you want to do. If you want to be that monkey and jump through those fiery hoops again, you have every right to do so. I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is feed you my opinion and tell you what I would do. I would not get it. It's me. I'm deciding for myself. You decide for yourself. I can't make you decide. I can't say, hey, you're an idiot from getting a vaccine. I can't say that. If you want to go get it, you go get it. If you don't. I'm not going to get it. Because I just don't, I have this problem where I don't trust, especially government. I don't trust them because they are taxing us to death. They're running us into the fucking hole of despair with all this inflation and bullshit of trying to get us to transition to everything electric. You know, it's pretty bad when they want to, you know, keep you from buying a fucking gas stove. If you realize, if you stop the production of natural gas and propane, you know how many towns run off natural gas and propane for heat and air conditioning? All of them do. We all do. My parents' house runs off propane. Their heat in the wintertime is propane. A lot of my neighbors here have propane. That's how they heat with. And if not, you're burning wood in an old stove. Me, I use electric because I don't have a chimney to run it out of, or I don't have an expensive propane heating system for my house. I had a Coleman furnace. I ripped it out because the mix of kerosene diesel fuel that I was getting to fill up my tank was out of my price range. They priced it out of my reach. I didn't make enough money to fill my tank. It was like almost $2,000 to fill my 275-gallon tank. So I just quit. I was like, you know what? I'll plug in infrared heaters in the wall and I'll use a kerosene heater. That is more affordable for me because all I got to do is pay my electric bill and I buy a 5-gallon can of kerosene. That kerosene lasts me a week, depending on how cold it is and if I even use it or not. I have a big jug in the house right now, ready on standby for my kerosene heater. I have it right now. But anyway, just think about what I said. Don't let these politicians railroad you and say that, oh, you can't run your gasoline car. You can't have a gas stove. You can't go out and vote in person. The best way to do this is to go out and vote in person. Next election, vote this old crazy fuck and their bunch of bullshit ways out of there. That's the only way we're going to get a grip on our country and take it back. Because they're taking it from us slowly. Just look at the bullshit happening in Maui right now. All you have to do is look that shit up. I saw a video. A guy asked his Alexa what the latest news was on Maui, and she said that that FEMA was digging mass graves and filling them up with dead people. I don't know if that's true or not. Don't quote me on that. Don't sit in the comments and go, "You're a liar." I'm just telling you what I saw. It was a TikTok video, so you can take that with a grain of salt right there, because a lot of their videos are horseshit. A lot of that's misinformation. But you can take that however you want it. That's what the guy said to his Alexa. They could have dubbed in somebody's voice for that. They can't do that anymore. They could actually make people, like celebrities and stuff, say shit in ads, and they don't even have to participate. They can use footage of them sitting there talking, and they can do CGI on their mouths and make their mouths move however they want them. So you don't really know what or who to believe. So anyway, everybody, have a great Sunday. For me, that's impossible because I hate Sundays. I hope you enjoyed the cold starts. And unfortunately, winter is on its way. And car cruising is going to come to an end once again. You have to tuck everything away. But like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments or not. If you don't want to, don't. If you do, feel free. I'll read it. I'll probably respond, or I'll put a like on it. Or if it's something I don't like, I'll take it down. So, everybody, have a good one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Ooh, Halloween's coming. Ooga booga. Ooh. All right, everybody. See you later.